"You're not our son. You're our sponsor." That's what Mom said on Easter, laughing, right after I paid $18,000 to cover their bills. Then my sister, Ashley the favorite, handed me a mug. On it were the words, "Stop asking why. Just pay and smile." Everyone laughed. Ashley raised her glass. "To our sponsor," she joked. And Mom added the line she'd clearly been waiting to say. "You're not our son. You're our sponsor." Their laughter faded, but those words stayed in the air. I had just rushed back from a work trip to help them. I'd paid their mortgage, Mom's dental work, and Ashley's car repair. I hadn't even unpacked. And now this? I looked down at the mug. "Where'd you get this?" I asked Ashley. "Had it made," she said, smiling. "It suits you." I looked at Mom and Dad. "Don't be so sensitive," Mom said. "It's just a joke," Dad added without looking up from his phone. Just like when they joked last Christmas that I should deduct family expenses from my taxes, since I run the household. Or when they joked about upgrading their sponsor after I got a promotion. I looked around the table. Ashley, in the expensive dress I paid for. Her fiancé Dylan, eating like it was a free buffet, because it was, for him. Mom, smiling like she hadn't cried last week to get me to pay her credit card bill. Dad, distant as always unless something needed fixing, or paying for. "Isn't this nice?" Mom said. It wasn't. It was a show, and I was footing the bill. I smiled like they wanted me to. But inside something broke. I used to believe love meant helping. That being dependable meant being loved. That if I did enough, gave enough, they'd treat me like they treated Ashley. But I was wrong. Ashley was their favorite. The one they showed off. I was just a backup plan. A wallet with a face. It started small. Ashley's business failed. I paid her rent. Mom needed dental work. I covered it. Dad's friend didn't repay a loan. I stepped in so they didn't lose power. Every time, they made it seem like I owed them. "We gave up a lot to raise you," Mom would say. "You didn't get successful just to keep the money," Dad once told me. Even Ashley said, "We're family. You know I'd help you if things were reversed." But they never were. I made sure of that. I worked hard so I wouldn't need help. 6 months ago, Ashley called crying. Dylan's business was falling apart. She begged for help. I sent $4,700 that night. A week later, she was at a fancy vineyard, laughing with a glass of wine. More photos came, designer stuff, brunches, a new iPhone. Then Easter. The mug. The jokes. That night, I checked my bank records. $72,850. That's how much I had given them over 5 years. My hands shook. I called the bank. Froze joint cards. Changed passwords. Moved my money. That night. "Mom, can you send $600 for the HOA? Just till Monday." I didn't reply. Then, "Ashley, is this about the mug?" It was a joke. "Don't be weird." Nothing. Midnight. "Mom, we didn't mean anything by it. You know we appreciate you. Don't make this a thing." Appreciate me? Like when I drove 6 hours in the snow to get Dad from the ER, because Ashley had a spa appointment. Like when they left me out of the family trip to Maui because you wouldn't want to waste money? That wasn't appreciation. It was dependence. They were hooked on the version of me who never said no. But that version of me? He was gone. Pulling away wasn't easy. The next morning, Ashley showed up at my apartment unannounced. I opened the door. She walked right in like she owned the place. "Really?" she snapped. "Now you're just ignoring us?" I leaned on the kitchen counter. "You mean like how you all ignored my last promotion? My birthday? Or when I said I was burned out?" She rolled her eyes. "This is about that stupid mug?" "No," I said. "This is about $72,000 and how none of you respect me." That shut her up. She blinked. "What are you talking about?" "I kept track," I said. "Every dollar I gave. Every time I helped during an emergency. Every loan that was really just a handout." Ashley crossed her arms. "We're family. You're supposed to help." "And I did," I said. "I helped you live easy while calling me uptight. I paid Mom's credit cards while she said I worry too much. I backed Dad's projects while he told people I'm distant. She scoffed. You're being dramatic. What now? You're cutting us off. Trying to punish us. I smiled. No, I said calmly. I stopped asking why. And for once I smiled while saying no. That smile stayed with me all night. The next evening, I got an invite. Family Zoom call. Subject: let's clear the air. Ashley sent it, of course. She always needed to be the one fixing things. I joined the call at 7 p.m. sharp. Ashley looked overly polished. Fake calm. Mom wore pearls and concern. Dad stayed muted. Uninterested. Dylan barely stayed in the frame, like guilt might rub off on him. There he is. Ashley said brightly. Glad you came. Time to move forward, right? Of course, Mom added. It's Easter season. Time to forgive. Family comes first. I smiled. Calm. Collected. Glad we all agree. Ashley started one of her long speeches. About trust, healing, and sticking together. I nodded like I was listening, but under the table, I opened my phone. Banking app. Insurance dashboard. Ashley's car. 2021 Toyota Corolla. Still under my name. Monthly payment. $249. I clicked. Cancel policy. Confirmed. Switch to the DMV site. Transfer ownership to Ashley. Submitted. Back to the bank. Final step. I sent her $1 with the note. This is the last dollar you'll ever get from me. Frame it. Click. Done. Her phone buzzed. She looked down, frowned. What is this? I took a sip of tea. Just tied up some loose ends, I said. What kind of loose ends? Mom asked. I leaned in. Smiled. You'll find out tomorrow. Then I unmuted myself, clicked leave meeting, and watched their confused faces disappear from the screen. My phone chimed. Payment sent. Insurance cancelled. Title transferred. And in Ashley's inbox sat a legal email. She now fully owned her car, and every problem that came with it. At exactly 9:17 a.m., her car was gone from the driveway. I know, because she texted me the moment she realized it. Letting go wasn't easy. The next morning, Ashley showed up at my apartment. I opened the door. She stormed in like she lived there. Are you serious? She snapped. You're ignoring us now? I leaned on the counter. You mean like how you all ignored my last promotion, my birthday, and every time I said I was overwhelmed? She rolled her eyes. This is about a stupid mug? No, I said. This is about $72,000 and being treated like I don't matter. She looked confused. What are you talking about? I kept track, I told her. Every dollar I gave over the past 5 years. Every emergency. Every time you asked for help and I gave it. Even when it hurt me. Ashley folded her arms. We're family. That's what family does. No, I said. I helped while you made fun of me. I paid Mom's credit cards while she said I worried too much. I helped Dad while he told people I was cold. Wow, she said. You're acting like we're strangers. So what now? You're cutting us off. I smiled. No. I just finally said no with a smile. The next night, I got an email. Family Zoom call. Let's clear the air. Ashley sent it. Of course. She always had to be the center of attention. Even for fixing things. At 7 p.m., I joined. Ashley looked too perfect, trying too hard. Mom wore pearls and concern. Dad sat there like always. Silent. Dylan was off to the side. Barely visible. There he is. Ashley said cheerfully. Let's move forward, okay? Yes, Mom said. It's Easter. Time to heal. We're family. I smiled calmly. Glad we agree. Ashley began talking. About forgiveness, unity, and trust. I nodded. Listening quietly. But under the table, I opened my phone. Insurance app. Ashley's car. Still under my name. Monthly payment. $249. Cancel policy. Confirmed. Then DMV website. Transfer car ownership to Ashley. Done. Back to my banking app. I sent her $1 with the note. This is the last dollar you'll ever get from me. Frame it. Her phone buzzed. She frowned. What's this? I took care of something important, I said. Like what? Mom asked. I smiled. You'll know by tomorrow. Then I unmuted myself, clicked leave meeting, and watched their faces disappear from the screen. My phone buzzed again. Payment sent. Insurance cancelled. Title transferred. The next morning, at 9:17 a.m., Ashley's car was towed. I know because she texted me the second she saw it was gone. Ashley, did you cancel my insurance? Ashley, seriously. My car's gone. Towed. Ashley, you're crazy. Call me. I didn't answer. Then Mom called. Then Dad. Then Dylan. 8 missed calls in less than an hour. Finally, a message from Dad. We need to talk. Sunday. 5 p.m. family only. No excuses. Perfect. I showed up without a smile. No guilt. No apologies. They were all there. Mom with her arms crossed. Dad quiet, hands in his lap. Ashley's hair was a mess. No car keys in sight. Dylan looked pale, sitting off to the side. Sit, Dad grunted. I stayed standing. You think this is funny? Mom asked. You put your sister in danger. You mean by making her responsible for her own car? I said. Ashley snapped. You had it towed? No, I said. You had it towed. I just stopped paying for it. Then I pulled a thick folder from my bag. Color-coded. Organized. I placed it on the coffee table. This is how much I've given this family. $72,850. Everyone went quiet. I'm not asking any more, I said. I want it paid back. Mom laughed nervously. You can't be serious. I've never been more serious, I said, opening the folder. Inside, bank statements, transfers, screenshots, bills, all highlighted. Mom. $23,700. Ashley. $38,600. Dad. $10,550. You have 90 days. Dad stood up. You're treating us like strangers. No, I said. You've treated me like a walking bank. I'm just doing the math. Ashley looked hurt. So you're keeping score now? You used to say this was love. And then you gave me a mug that said, stop asking why. Just pay and smile. I pulled out one more paper. Remember the emergency credit line I opened 3 years ago? You all signed it. That means I can sue. Silence. Dylan whispered something. Ashley snapped. What? I told you this would happen, he said. You said he'd never push back. You told him? She yelled. I trusted you, he said. You lied. And now he's done. Mom jumped in. You're breaking this family apart. No, I said. I'm just closing my accounts. Then I dropped the $1 printout on the table. This is the last dollar you'll ever get from me. Frame it. I walked to the door. And if you think this is betrayal, I said, then you've never really known what losing me looks like. Nobody said a word as I left. After that, no one reached out. No angry texts. No guilt calls. Not even a meme from Ashley. It was peaceful. For the first time in years, my phone was quiet. Because I made it that way. I wasn't being ignored. I was finally free. But 3 days later, I had a moment of doubt. Standing in the grocery store, trying to save money on oat milk. I wondered, was I too harsh? Then my phone buzzed. A message from Ashley. Just so you know, Mom's blood pressure went up. She says it's your fault, from stress. There it was. Blame. Guilt. Manipulation. But this time, I didn't react. I replied with 2 words. Me blocked. And I meant it. 2 days later, the front desk called. Your mom's here. Says it's an emergency. I didn't even ask why. Tell her the sponsor's out of service. Click. But the wildest part? It felt amazing. I was sleeping better. Going to the gym again. Cooking real meals. My apartment felt lighter, like the ghosts had left. Then I got a message I didn't expect. From Dylan. I know this is strange, but can we talk? I wasn't sure if it was a trap. But I said yes. No guilt. No favors. Just talk. We met at a coffee shop. He looked tired. I'm not here to defend Ashley, he said. Good, I replied. I'm here to say I'm done too. That made me pause. I watched her lie to you. I watched your parents let it happen. I kept waiting for someone to step up. They didn't. He rubbed his face. Now she's talking about suing you for emotional distress. I blinked. Seriously. She just wants to hurt you, he said. But I'm out. I've seen enough. I'm filing for separation. I should have spoken up sooner, he added. You were the only one keeping things together. I just tried to stay out of the mess. We sat in silence. Then he handed me an envelope. Inside, a $1,000 check. Memo. Toward what they owe you. It's not much, he said. But it's from me, not them. I wanted you to know someone saw what you did. For the first time in years, I felt real tears behind my eyes. Not because I was hurt, but because I finally felt seen. That night, I opened my laptop and looked at the spreadsheet I had labeled Family Debt. Next to Dylan's name, I typed, paid $1,000, with sincerity. Then I changed the name of the file to Closure in Progress. I poured myself a glass of good wine. The kind I used to save for holidays that always ended in fake smiles and family drama. This time, I drank for myself. For peace. For setting boundaries. For finally being free from the role of family sponsor. It's been 3 months, exactly 90 days, since I walked out of that house. Since I dropped that folder on their table and left. I haven't seen any of them since. The calls stopped around week 4. The texts faded away by week 6. I heard from mutual friends that Ashley is taking time to heal. Which probably means she's looking for someone else to fund her life. I didn't care. I wasn't angry anymore. That's what they never understood. When I said, I'm done, I didn't mean I was mad. I meant I was finished. Like a closed chapter. Like a door locked from the inside. I wasn't their sponsor anymore. I was finally someone with a future that didn't involve guilt, begging, or emotionally empty people who happened to share my last name. I moved out of state. Started a new job. Better pay, less stress. Found a new apartment with no bad memories. I joined a boxing gym, not because I wanted to fight, but because I finally had the time and energy. My money was mine again. My time mine. My life mine. I made new friends. The kind who don't expect anything except honesty. People who remembered my birthday. Without strings attached. I even started dating. Someone calm. Someone kind. Someone who asked, what do you need? Not, can you help me just this once? For the first time in 10 years, my life didn't just look better. It felt real. Then last Sunday, exactly 90 days after the big blow-up, something surprising happened. I got a notification on my phone. A deposit. $1 from Mom. Memo. Thought you'd want the mug framed properly. I stared at it for a full minute. At first, I thought it was a joke, or bait to drag me back in. Then I got another alert. $1 from Dad. Memo. I'm told I owe you more. And half an hour later, $2.50 from Ashley. No message. Just silence. It was ridiculous. Small. Petty. Symbolic. But I laughed. I laughed so hard I almost spilled my coffee. Because finally, they were doing something I'd asked for over and over. Taking responsibility. Even if it was bitter and small. Maybe that's what scared them the most. Not losing my money, but facing the consequences. But that wasn't the real twist. That night, I was sitting on my balcony, looking out at the city lights, sipping a beer, when my phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't a joke. It was a real bank notification. $3,000. From Ashley. No message. No memo. I refreshed the page. It was real. She wasn't apologizing. She was scared. Scared I'd follow through with the legal documents I had. Scared I wasn't bluffing anymore. Scared because she knew she no longer had control over me. They all underestimated me. And now, they were scrambling to get back the old version of me, the one who paid without question. But this time it was too late. I took a screenshot of the deposit, saved it in the same folder where I tracked their debts. Then I renamed the file again. Closure confirmed. The next morning, I donated $1,000 of it to a local women's shelter. The rest, I put into a savings account labeled Rebuilt from Ash. Because that's exactly what this was. Not revenge. Not punishment. Rebuilding. I took back my money. My time. My voice. My identity. And most importantly, my peace. Standing in my new apartment, bright, calm, filled with plants and no guilt, I looked around and whispered, "This is what family should feel like."